All right. I think everything should be working fine. Allow me to quickly confirm the sound. Okay, everything is working fine. So, naturally, we can start. My name is Hightech. Of course, I'm the creator of Hightech Meme Coin. Why is it so dark out of a sudden? And on these live streams, I talk about what just happened today in the cryptocurrency market, or recent few days, past few days. What I think about it regarding my 11 years of experience in this field, and of course, in between the lines, I explain what high tech is and why you might you might be interested in it. Okay, so yeah, let's move on. Let's see what we've got here. This one here, of course, allows me to see whatever you guys write in the live chat. If you have any questions, of course, don't hesitate. Ask them. I will try to answer to the best of my abilities. And yeah, no, it's much, let's say, much more enjoyable if there is any feedback from the other side, from viewer side. So I highly encourage you to do so. So yeah, guys, those that remember, I'm in a trade on Bitcoin. Current rate is at plus 8.9%, almost plus 9% as we speak. A very successful entry so far, and everything goes according to plan. I was I was expecting this outcome, as you know, as everyone that watched me before know very well that I was very skeptical when it comes to to the top, being in. I did not give it much benefit of a doubt. I think we are far from the top. I think we will see it sometime next year, sometime deep into the next year. I don't think we will witness it this year. So you should definitely aim for much higher prices on Bitcoin alone than what we can see right now. But of course, the main play, I'm 100% convinced, um, lays on the altcoin side. I know right now it's not as visible, as manifested as we all are wishing for it, but I think that time is coming in huge steps, mainly because stablecoins are about to be treated serious, very seriously by TradFi. There is more and more news talking about TradFi wanting to actually switch over to use stablecoin instead of the banking system, which is of course very outdated, very slow, very inefficient, very expensive. Stablecoins allow a huge cost reduction, a huge efficiency increase. So at some point it will have to happen, and the point that interests us the most in the whole of that picture is that it will completely collapse whatever barriers of capital rotation from TradFi side to the crypto side, right? Because it will all blend together, and your favorite blockchain, or your favorite coin, maybe even favorite meme coin, uh, will not see any obstacles anymore, when it comes to inflows, right? Capital inflow. So I think a great time is ahead of us. Even though right now, as I already mentioned, it does not look like it because last 2 years actually have been quite difficult for the altcoin market. Very few have benefited from current state of things. Just bunch of coins from, I don't know, top 30 maybe, and that's it, with a few exceptions outside of it. And I think we will see a very drastic change. Who knows? Maybe even this year, in the altcoin sphere, I think we are gearing up for a huge move up. And when we join it to with what is going on with with the US dollar, it's there is more and more injection of it into the US economy in different forms that also favorites naturally risk on assets such as altcoins, such as crypto, such as altcoins. I mean, most of us we are mostly interested in altcoins because they carry the biggest upside potential. I mean, at least that's the assumption, and in my opinion, that's a correct assumption. Bitcoin right now is competing with the biggest assets in the world. Its capitalization is literally on par with the top stocks. The biggest stocks in the world belonging to S&P 500. So yeah, even though those, of course, still can move quite significantly, it's nothing to compare when we actually put it, side to side with some of those medium caps, small caps, or micro caps. Those definitely have much more explosiveness, hiding under the hood. If stars align the right way on this guy. So um, it's difficult to debate it. But let me check if everything is okay with the connection. But apparently it is. So again, guys, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them. From time to time, I will be checking it here, of course, in the live chat. If anybody has written anything, you know, just to maintain the conversation going, and not keep you waiting for too long. So here, naturally, things are going very well. I suppose $150,000 for Bitcoin shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Of course, I wouldn't put my head on it. I wouldn't bet my head on it because this is crypto. There is a huge volatility here since always, and at any single moment we can get some correction that will stop us for some time, stop us out for some time, and we may fall short in that march towards 150K this year. But I think we are on the greater side of probabilities to actually get it, and I'm highly convinced we will get it. So I think we literally have like, I don't know, 90% probability that, but still this year we will see 150K for Bitcoin. I think troubles in this market will start sometime in November. I mean, again, in my belief, first half of November should still be bullish. Second half has a huge risk of actually giving us huge downward swings. Why? Because the liquidity favors that. There will be highest liquidity around that time, and if somebody wants to unload, cash in, or actually cash out some of those juicy gains, sell their coins scooped up at the bottom, Like for example, Ethereum in April, if someone bought it up around that time, then of course is hugely up right now, and the nearest time that gives them the least spreads is around mid November. So it's simply market mechanics, pure profitability, pure cost efficiency. That is what drives my opinions here, right? So yeah, when November starts, you should pull up your guard and just start to be much more prudent than before. This month, I think you should be buying up whatever dip happens, and starting on November, slowly start to scale out towards the mid November. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe that big correction is not going to come. We'll see, but liquidity says the way that liquidity arranges seasonally. Well, it gives me a strong leaning towards it actually uh, coming true. But that's not a must, of course. That's not a must if, let's say, Wall Street, big TradFi has some, greater plan for all of it. If they're betting much bigger on it, then who knows? Then maybe that correction will not be as sizable, and we will just, continue the rally until, I don't know, April, May next year, and then we get a correction, or maybe even the end of the cycle. But now, since I learned what TradFi is experimenting with, and what they're about to, at least what they claim they're about to do, now I start to think that we may not even get the end of the cycle in 2026. Either the way all of it works, I mean the cycles work until now is going to get a complete revamp, a completely rebuilt, or it's not ending, or it will not end in 2020, even in 2026. I'm slowly convincing myself that this is going to be the final outcome. That all of it will last much longer than anybody of us expects, because that's a huge game changer. If TradFi switches to stablecoins, that's a historical moment. That's something that will completely change the way the whole TradFi economy works in global scale. Once it is executed in the United States, it will get copied in the resting parts of the globe, and like I said, that means all walls will fall when it comes to capital inflows to altcoins or whatever blockchain project, right? Whatever blockchain project that has any signs of credibility, gives any signs of any worth of investing in it. So yeah, I think we are up for a very wild ride in upcoming years, and I don't think the war narrative is strong enough to stop it out. To be honest, and when we join it with AI, that's a crazy mix, absolutely crazy mix. So okay, here you can see on 1 hourly. My second trade on Bitcoin, and this one, as you see, is doing remarkably well too. Very similar results to what I have on 50-minute candle. Literally like 0.3% of difference. It's doing very well. The shape of this price action is very bullish. It looks like it wants to, shoot up much higher. So naturally, don't be surprised if that happens. And I think I'm one of the very few guys that has been so consistently has been trying to convince you not to sell anytime soon. To buy up the dip. I mean, there will be moments to sell. Don't get me wrong, because when I say buy the dip, you could try to compare me to some of those big influencers that they always say the same. They never say sell. They always say tell you buy the dip, even if we are the day before the price goes minus 70%, right? This is something you will not hear on this channel, right? There will be a time to sell, but that's not now. That's not yet. Um, if somebody's strategy is just to buy the dip, then you should immediately stop listening to him or her, because that's good only for the people that have very stable source of income, a regular source of income, and have enough of money on the side that they can literally wait years for their portfolios to turn out positive, right? That is not the case for vast majority of market participants, for vast majority of viewers. Hence, that strategy will just not work for them. So here I'm presenting you approach, right? Inside info, so to speak. That is much more efficient than that, and it will help you to save huge amounts of money when the right time comes. And I'm fairly sure I have already proven that. I mean, if you watch my live streams from the very beginning, from the day one I started this YouTube channel, or or I don't know, you just check my live streams on X, my earliest live streams on X. Well, it's all documented, right there. It's all documented that I've been right so many times, right? When all of the people, for example, around 30,000 were saying that we probably will have a huge correction, I was saying no, we are not going to see any correction. We go higher, and we will make new all-time high before halving, and that literally happened. Later, I started to lean bearish, and I was for quite a few months. I was saying probably we are going to get a huge correction, but then quickly I turned my back on it and realized, okay, I guess we are after all, we are not going lower. We will be going higher, and still before we beat a new all-time high back then, newly established all-time high, because we made an all-time high and then we stayed with it for like 3 or 4 months or 5 months maybe, and maybe even and still before we passed through it, I said, okay, we are going higher. We are probably going to like 100,000, 100, maybe 10,000. Jump back in, right? And again, that's literally what happened. So apparently, it's documented. I have proven, my live streams, that it is worth to give me some time, right? To dedicate me some time and hear me out, because I've been doing it for 11 years, and that's a one hell of a time. This market has slightly different dynamic than the TradFi market. It's not propped up by the Fed, so that is why different rules apply here. And even those guys that have 30, 40 years of experience in TradFi, when they come over to crypto, they easily get lost. And somebody who started their let's say investing trading adventure with crypto, I think it's much more qualified to give whatever sort of advice, even if counting by years, and that experience is much in trading. That experience is much shorter than of some of the folks that you can find on the internet, and they boast about how long they have been in the game, but then later they just give you bad advice. They literally give you bad advice, and I've seen many YouTube channels that fall into that category. So yeah, this looks very good. Look, on Friday and Saturday, I was doing live stream on my Polish YouTube channel, and I said if we don't see all-time high this very week, so the week that just ended, I said I'll be holding my head, literally. I'll be holding my head if we do not make new all-time high this very week. And we made new all-time high last week, right? So the week I was talking about. So let me tell you, I will repeat myself once again. I will be absolutely shocked if we don't make new all-time high this week. I'm not sure if we are going to make it today. I mean, we are very close, as you may observe. But we could get a pullback like anytime soon, and go sideways for a while. But overall, if we do not get a new all-time high this week, I'll be absolutely shocked. Even if it's not today, probably it's going to happen today. But even if it's not today, if we get a pullback, I think you could easily bet on beating, on establishing new all-time high. I discourage you. I discourage you from using any kind of leverage, futures trading, that type of things, because that gives you way too small margin of error. This market is very volatile. It's very easy to get pushed out of the trade if you are price dependent. So that is why. That's why I just avoid it, right? Stay on the spot market. This one favorites you. It gives you a wide road to drive, and why would you go elsewhere if here you are the safest, right? And the result is the most certain. So yeah, okay, let's go over to Bitcoin dominance. Let's see how this one is behaving now. Probably is going slightly up, I imagine. This is another thing I have got right. Oh, no, it's actually reducing. Yeah, this is another thing that I got right. I said that we will see an attempt to reach that 59.6% of Bitcoin dominance. We may not get there, but if we go above it for a brief moment, just don't freak out. We will definitely stop marching up, and this thing will roll over, and we will take out. Once that happens, we will take out this lower low. And when we take this one out, things will speed up. Things will speed up in a big way, especially that until that greatest liquidity moment in the market, there is little time left, right? Little time left. In fact, like around a month, let's say. We are around a month away from that time, so yeah, expect a huge boost up of Bitcoin dominance reduction. And others is also telling me, the others chart is also telling me that we are just about to see an explosive rally. because again, when you try to let's say examine the inclination of this whole formation here, it's towards the upside, right? The wind is blowing north and it's blowing hard. It's blowing so hard that it's denying the gravity, as you see. So this thing will have to let go because it has been holding onto the barrier for so long. And let me remind you, this chart does not really reflect the real state of the altcoin market, because this one is, let's say, dynamically managed by Binance. Binance, they list the coins they don't like. They list new coins that they do like, and that skews the shape of this chart quite heavily, right? So it's much. This one actually is much. It's looking much better than the real shape of the altcoin market. But in my opinion, that's actually even better. Why? Because we have much more room towards the upside, thanks to it. And on the other side, the fact that they are, let's say, manipulating the look of the altcoin market here is also, working well for us, because this is what analysts see and what algorithms see, right? So, two of these groups, uh, they must calculate it in, right? They must calculate it in whatever their procedures are. And here the pressure is increasing, and this thing is about to break, right? Is about to break, and make a huge boom, right? Make a huge kaboom. How high we can go from here is difficult to tell, but probably in the grand scheme of things, probably multiple times higher when we were experiencing these rallies. These rallies here in the previous cycles, at least multiple times higher. And that's considering only the market structure here. Here, like, we do not completely I do not completely do skip. I completely skip the effect of TradFi, switching over to the stablecoin market, because once that one is in place, I don't think I have enough of imagination to give any estimations what can possibly happen. To be perfectly honest. Should like and subscribe, guys, if you haven't done so, by the way, if anybody is watching. And naturally, don't forget to throw something at my meme coin, which I believe will completely explode once the high interest around cryptocurrencies kicks in, back again. And that's about to happen literally any day. This month I decided I will be live streaming every single day on my English YouTube channel, same as I do on my Polish YouTube channel. Why? Because it's the season, right? We're entering the season time, so it's October and November. So that means, all of this is going to have much more visibility. Much more people will be able to learn about this meme coin of mine, and it's enough if just some of them throw something in here, and and since this market is so small, it will give it an immense boost, right? So just be here before them, and that will do the job perfectly fine. So yeah. Here, when we look at at this chart from closer perspective, again, there's nothing bad I could say about it. Nothing I could throw at it that would stick, to be honest. On the weekly channel, sorry, on the channel, on the weekly candle, it looks phenomenal. So far, the way I see it right now, it looks phenomenal. It definitely tells me that this thing wants to run. This thing wants to run and win the race. So so yeah, just think about it. This is not the time to be selling your bugs. Definitely, absolutely. If anybody convinced you to sell right now, in 30 days you will know just to completely ignore that someone for the rest of your life, because they're not only wasting your time but wasting your money too. So yeah, on platform, from what I have seen, SPY is having a pre-market higher than the Friday close, as you see, and that's of course very bullish for crypto too, because since we have got Bitcoin spot ETFs, and spot ETFs generally, we have much greater dependency on the TradFi market. So it always counts whenever TradFi market is doing good or better. That always gives some hope for crypto to follow, right? So yeah, the stars are lining up. The stars are lining up in the right order. Yeah. Let's take a look at crypto bubbles. Here, as you see, quite green. There is a little bit of red, but green is dominating, and that would be much more visible. Probably, the deeper we go into this week, the more pronounced it will be. But so far so good. We are starting quite nicely. Let's take a look at liquidations, maybe. Allow me to quickly, because I see CoinGlass opened in is not open in my browser. Here it is. So let's take a look at liquidation heat map, because this one has tricked people badly, and I was pointing it out that on the weekly time frame, there was visible a lot of liquidity sitting beneath the price when we still were much lower. So actually, when we were here, there was a huge pocket of liquidity, full pocket of liquidity, and I said, do not count on it, because that could be spoofing, and we will keep marching upwards. People will be thinking that we will come down for this liquidity, and that liquidity will be about belonging of market makers, tricking the retailers that the price must come down there, and it will never come down. And this is exactly what has happened. So that's why I insist on this thing here being a spoofing coming from market makers, right? So they want people to think that the price will come down there, but it won't. And here, okay, so quite break even when it comes to liquidity, more or less the same amount beneath as above, but as you see above, we are much closer to it, 125,283. So yeah, I think first we will go down, and then we will go up. So the opposite of what probably you thought I was going to say. This is highly probable that that will be the order. So first we will go up, and then we will go up. But very well, we can go higher, and then just follow with this march up as well. And to be honest, in percentage terms, all of it is so close. It writes into natural volatility of Bitcoin. So it's things like that are nearly impossible to predict. And they have that component of very high level of randomness. So that's why overall we will definitely go higher. I would not count on any attempts to predict how in what order exactly is going to play out, because it's very easy to get it wrong. But who knows? Maybe we will go for that liquidity above first, and maybe this is also a part of the greater scheme of spoofing retailers, and we will not see price doing retractions this big anytime soon. Retracements. I said retractions, retracements. This big anytime soon. So yeah, let's take a look at liquidation levels. So last 24 hours, quite low, but it's still early. Let's say weekends. On the weekends, generally volumes stay very low, almost surprisingly low. Now we definitely see a little bit of an uptick, but this is still nothing. But yeah, this is still early Monday. Let's take a look at crypto fear and greed index and altcoin season index. So these results come from yesterday, 59, as you see. So we are slowly abandoning the neutral zone, and we are going into greed, low greed levels. Altcoin season 64, so fairly low to be honest. But not that far away from fear and greed index. So now they are more or less going side to side, because in recent weeks we've seen a huge discrepancy in between them, huge differences, and it was to me it was a little bit difficult to interpret, but now it's going side to side, or nearly step by step. And of course, crypto ETFs net flows will from Monday, from today, we will know tomorrow, because this one here shows the previous day, and since Saturday Sunday TradFi does not trade, so the last read we have from Friday, right? So, and Friday was very positive, as you see, almost $1 billion in inflows. And probably today will be positive too, since yesterday I saw on X, Michael Saylor was letting people know that today he will be buying, right? And the SBR narrative is getting stronger and stronger. So actually BR, Bitcoin Reserve, and SBR too, Sovereign Bitcoin Reserve, all over the world. More and more states start to think about getting their own reserve in Bitcoin. There's definitely a lot of room for growth for that narrative. So that is one thing that fuels up, has the capacity of fueling up crypto growth. But in my opinion, much greater one is how TradFi starts to think about stablecoins. I think that one is beyond all. Like, forget about Bitcoin Reserve. That's Bitcoin Reserve is a very small narrative in comparison to that, and it will sooner or later will die out. But the global finance, transferring in its entirety to blockchain space, that's historical. That's something absolutely that will give possibilities of earning money beyond scope of imagination, especially when we join it with AI. So yeah, Okay, guys, allow me to wrap it up right here. I don't want to make it too long, and with my stuttering and and stuff. The more I live stream, now I will be live streaming every single day, so I will get a little bit more fluent because recent times I've been live streaming like for one maybe or 1 day or two days a week, so that does not help with how efficiently I express myself because English is my second language. But as with everything, the more you practice, the better you get good at it. So that is why probably in a couple of days I will get back to some decent, more easy to understand level of fluency. So share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to throw something at my meme coin high tech in the description section of this live stream. You'll find the link to its liquidity pool on Radium, which is a Solana DEX. And yeah, this meme coin is available on Solana DEXs. Why? Because Solana is the fastest blockchain out there, and probably it will stay this way for quite some time to go. So. Thanks to that is the cheapest. Also, the transaction fees are the cheapest, and that's why it caught my attention. So thank you for your time, guys, and I see you tomorrow. Cheers.